Good morning, Stampin' friends. How are you today? TGIF, happy Friday. So excited that the weekend is here, although it's not exactly the greatest weekend for me because it's always busy. I find that, oh yay, I get to sleep in, and usually sleeping in for me is 7 a.m. So really I'm not like benefiting anything here, but you know, it is a perfect time to relax and not be, unless you have commitments, and not be stressed at that. So this is Nemi Batstone here, and I'm coming to you live and recorded from my studio or craft space in Cooks Creek, Manitoba, and it looks like I got volume. So if you're there, make sure to like, share, and comment to enter this week's card draw. So each week I send out I create these cards, and then I have 2 sets. So then I like to do a draw at the end of the week, which is tomorrow morning, and whoever wins the draw gets in. So if you comment, like, share, that's 3 draw tickets. Okay, so just a reminder that I do have a newsletter, and I try to post every other day, not every day, so it's not completely crazy. But I do want to remind you that tomorrow is the deadline for my DSP share. Plenty of time for, so that is a sample pack of designer series paper. There is 9 of them, so that's like 54 sheets. It's only $40 something, $42, $7 plus shipping, or free for porch pickup. Blah, blah, blah. So if you live anywhere across Canada, it's a $7 shipping fee. If you live nearby and we can coordinate pickup, then you don't have to pay that extra $7. And don't forget, this is the perfect month because you not only get 10% in Stampin' rewards, but if you spend $100 or more, you can get the product of the month, which is for $5 only. So that's, you know, $105 that you have to get to spend. And also you get any order you place between now and January 17th, you get invited to my VIP, not a VIP, you get invited to the Coast to Coast Collaborator Showcase, where we're showcasing 6 different stamp sets, so bundles and designer series paper to launch the new catalog. So join me, and I'm doing Woolly Friends, so that's why I shared quite a few projects of Woolly Friends with you. And then on top of that, you get bonus dollars. So it's coupon time, so for every $60 you spend, you get $6 back. So spend $120 because then you get $12 and you get it for next month. Then you get $12 on top of that of Stampin' rewards. And then as well, you get access to the Coast to Coast Collaborators product share showcase. Okay, so lots happening anyway. It's always in my newsletter, so make sure you're part of that so that you can skim it when you want to, delete it when you want to, read it when you want to. So really up to you. Okay, so today is a Funfold day, and I'm throwing it back to a Funfold that I haven't created in years, but really love and feel like this one is great for it. This is the Easter Joy set, and with it comes ribbon, embellishments, coordinating embellishments like these cute little eggs. I split mine because I'm sharing my embellishments with somebody else. And it comes with this cute stamp set. Oh, this is reversed. Sorry, I had this at my team meeting last night, so I always like mine the other way, so that way it's good to go. So then, so here is the set. Then it comes with these gorgeous dies. Now the fun part, and I was gonna make a 3D project with this and showcase that today, but changed my mind. And so it's quite big. It is, I think, 2.5 inches wide by 3.5 inches tall. So that's fun, but you can make the handle adjustable, but then you can also go without a handle. So then you have a basket. And then this little piece here is actually strips. So when you run this through, you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strips of the same color. Unless, depending what you're doing. Good morning, Christine Hello, hello. And it has this flower one. I might use that one, but let's see. And then the rest are all the shapes that come in the actual stamp set. So that's pretty cool. Oh, plus grass. So that's kind of neat too. I always love it when we get grass. There's one stamp set, or it was a celebration product a couple of years, or maybe 3 years ago, that has grass in it. I love it and I use it all the time. I can't remember. Oh yeah, so this one is the flower one. This flower one here. Anyway, I didn't die cut them all yet because I haven't had time. I just recently received this and it was perfect timing. So this is what we're going to share. So I'm going to create a fun fold. Honestly, I'm going to make it right from scratch because I want to make sure you understand how to make it, because I haven't done it in a long time myself either. But it's a fun one. And I will show you my creation that I created at first, because I'm going to do a different spin on this one. And I wanted to show you how I put it together, because it's a little bit of a twist. A twist that I actually got from Celine Kempton, and she reminded me about this one. And I was trying to find, because the last time I made it was the Ladybug stamp set from years ago. Okay, let's get started. So we're using the designer series paper from Easter Joy. And I think I'm going to pick these three, although I'm debating on this one. So this was going to be my background. I'm thinking I might go lighter because I may want to stamp on it. So this one is debatable. So we'll see. Because I need this for my bottom strip, but then I can also, pop up. So let's see what we get. So I'm going to make this one a little simple. Now this one's going to be my background because it's the biggest piece and it's got it has the most that will be shown, and it also is, on my card, it is the biggest piece of DSP we need. So, and then we have to go smaller moving forward. So I think I'm going to use Strawberry Slush. So I'm going to grab a piece, one sheet of Strawberry Slush, because that's all you need. You need one piece of cardstock to create this fun fold. And I really hope you like it. So, but it's seriously, it's really easy to make. Okay, so we're gonna grab our card, our paper here, and move this out of the way first. Our paper trimmer. I don't know why I'm always crooked. Stupid phone. Okay, so we're gonna go actually, I'm gonna go this way first. Let me think. How did I do the other one? Did I do 5.5, have 4.25? Yeah, I guess I can. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So our card base is a single base, and I'm going to show you how to make, and then we're just going to fold it to make it stand. Okay, so this is our card base. And then our card base needs to be scored in half. So we're scoring it at 2 3/4, because that is half of 5.5, okay? And that is our card base. So I'm just gonna fold it. I'm not gonna burnish it right away because we need to put our designer series paper on it. So that's our card base. And then we need another one. And we're going to cut, I'm just gonna grab the other piece. And this one we're gonna trim down to, I'm trying to think here. What did I do? I think I did this one. Hang on, let me just check my measurements here. 5 inches. Yes, that's what it was, because then I have my, okay. So 5 inches, and then don't throw this, because we're going to use it. And then 3 3/4. So 5 inches by 3 3/4. So then now we have 2 strips. And we'll probably use that one. So this one here, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm going to score this at a 1/2 inch. Okay. So then now we're down to 4. So then I'm going to score this at 2.5, because that is the center. That is the center after the, whatchamacallit, after you score the other sides. Okay, so we're going to fold these in because this is going to be our glue. This is where we're going to add the glue, like that. And then we're going to fold this one into each other. So this piece is going to go like so on our card. So this is kind of like our stage. I don't even know what this card is called, to be honest. So if anybody knows the name, then by all means, please post it in the comments. So, because I don't even know what to call it. Okay, so last but not least, we need a 6.5-inch strip. So we're going to take our other half here, and I'm going to cut that at 1 inch, because then we'll go 3/4 and then 1/2 inch. So that works out perfect. So 1 inch, and then you're going to score each end at 1/2 inch, because we need to apply glue. And then that brings us back to 5.5 inches, which is the standard card base. So it's gonna span and stretch along the front of our card base, okay? So those are all our mechanism pieces. Or, oh wait, no, we have one more mechanism piece. So we have another piece. This is gonna be our mechanism. So I cut this to 3 inches, and I trimmed it to 3/4 inch. And then I scored it at 1 inch, and then 1 1/4. And then I scored it again at 1 3/4 and 2 inches. So this is going to be our mechanism. So this piece here stays flat, and we're gonna bend it. I should take this out of the way so you can see. So then we're gonna bend it like so. Bend it like Beckham. So then you get that. So this is our mechanism piece that we actually need. Okay? So then now I'm gonna burnish this one, because this we want to be our nice and crisp. So then that way it acts as a mechanism. Now, you'll also see here that the two tips almost touch, so depending how you score, but it's close enough. And that's what we're going to line up to the center, so that it allows it to actually sit on the card and allows our piece to pop, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Okay, so then now I need another piece of basic white to sit in front of that. And I'm going to use the Happy Easter from this one. And it's not very, I thought it was bigger, but really it's only like 3/4 inch. So we're looking at 3 inches, or I could make it wider just to make it prettier, I guess, per se. But okay, let's go 3 inches. Yeah, 3 inches by 3/4. So then now I need another piece of white. So let me grab another piece of scrap white. Now this one I don't want to reuse. Maybe this piece is long enough. Oh, perfect. This piece is 3 inches. Awesome. So let me just double check. There's a piece of scrap I had sitting beside me. And then we're going to go 3/4. Because that's how wide my sentiment is. So depending on how wide your sentiment is, will dictate. So, and you definitely want to make sure your sentiment is wider than your mechanism. Otherwise, you're screwed. Because if it's shorter, then you'll see it. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Just make sure it's the same color. Maybe I should have did my mechanism in the color of cardstock base. Okay, that's an idea for next time. But that's what I have. So now we have that. Okay, now we need to cut our DSP that's going to go on top. So this is our card base. So it's your standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. But remember, we scored it there. So then that means we need 2 pieces that are 4 inches by 2 1/2. So we're going to use the big one. So I want 2 1/2 this way. So I only need 4. So I'm going to cut this. So this is part of my DSP share. 2 1/2 plus 2 1/2 is 5. Wow. I had to think about that one. Okay. Good morning, Shell. And then we're going to go 4. Okay, so then we'll save that for another piece. So then I'm just gonna cut this in half. I'm just maximizing my paper as much as I can. Okay, so there's our 2 pieces, and that's what's gonna go here on the front of our DSP. Okay, so those ones go together. Now we have to create DSP for this piece here. So again, this one we did at 5 inches, right? Just gonna double check. Need a coffee? Yes, I do. Where is my coffee? Oh no, there it is. So I was a little delayed for a few minutes this morning because my husband was like in the kitchen using his KitchenAid, and I was like, oh my God, I got a Facebook Live. You really need to leave. And he's like running late. Okay, so this is going to be 3.5 by 1 3/4. So we're going to use, I think I'm going to stick to it. We're going to use this side. So 3.5 by 1 3/4. So I'm going to run a strip this way. So 1 3/4. Because that is, oh wait, that's width. Yeah, that's right. So 1 3/4. No, I need height. Hang on. Oh, I need 3.5 this way. So 3.5. Is that right? Hang on. I'm not thinking here. 3.5. Yes. And then 1 3/4. So I'm doing math in my head. Probably not ideal. 3.5. So, okay, I was right. It is 3.5. Okay, so 3.5. Those are my scraps. And then 1 3/4. Oh boy. So funny. This is part of my share of the DSP share. So I'm like, it's okay if I screw up. It's my paper. It's only paper, folks. It's only paper. And then there's my 2 pieces there. Okay, that works. I got it right. So this is why I wanted to cut it with you, because I wanted to make sure, and that is crazy. So I did 3.5 because I know it's 2 pieces at 1 3/4, and then I trimmed it to the right length or height and did that. Okay, so then now we have this strip, which is 5.5 inches, and this is where I was debating because I wasn't sure. So I'm gonna trim it anyway, and this is 1 inch, so we're gonna go 3/4 because I don't know which side I want to use. Okay, so this is 3/4, and then we're gonna go 5.5, which is pretty much just trimming off that 1/2 inch there. Okay, so that is, if I did this right, why does it look longer? Because I forgot to trim it to 6.5. Winner. Okay, so we need to trim this to 6.5, which is pretty much take off 2 inches. I'm like, why does that look so long? Nobody stopped me. And then we're gonna score that 1.5 inch. So then this should be 5.25. What am I thinking? Okay, so yep. Holy Hannah, somebody wake me up. Too early. Where's my coffee? Oh, there it is. Let me take a sip. Need to refuel. Okay, let me throw these scraps away because I don't need them. OMG. Okay, now I think we have all our pieces. Now we're just gonna assemble. Okay. I honestly think you're gonna like my original design, but I wanted to share a twist on how else you can create this one. So let's do some assembly. So let's just get this one out of the way. Now where's my adhesive? Okay, so we're going to just add adhesive to the back. Yeah, that's too dark. I think I'm gonna, I love the crumb cake, but seriously, it's just, I think we're just in the brights. Now, the Easter basket bundle is our featured stamp set or featured bundle for my upcoming crop in March. So if you're attending, you definitely want to pick this one up. And then that way you can create all you want. And we're going to be, your welcome package will have some really fun stuff in it. Okay, so I'm gonna add our adhesive to the back. Yeah, I can't wait. Okay, and so put that on, and then this. Now I purposely did this way because then, you know, it's the other half. So it does kind of, if you got the DSP share, it kind of wastes it a little bit. It doesn't really maximize that way, but it really makes it pretty. For those that pay attention to detail. Okay, so there's one. That's our card face. I know, right? And I just like to say, like, Shell made a good point when we were talking about this, when we were picking this suite for our upcoming crop, is that the one side is very bright and kind of plasticky, and then the other side feels like paper. So, and it's a specialty paper because of its brightness and gold foil that runs through almost everything. So it is a $23 set, which is also why I wanted to do the designer series share, because there's a ton of specialty paper and it is pricey. So it adds up. So this way we can get a little bit of everything. And then once you really like a pack of designer series paper, then you can order the whole thing. Okay, some assembly required. So here's the fun part. So you have your score line here, and you have your score line here. So we're gonna line up those score lines together down the middle and center it, okay? So we're gonna take this, and I'm gonna use tear tape because I want to make sure it's on there real good. Or you can use Seal Plus, whichever is your preference. Okay. And then I'm going to run that through and then do this. Okay. Now I'm gonna pull these tabs up just a bit because I want to make sure I'm lined up, and then this way I can pull it off if I'm not. Okay, so this is a very simple version of this, but oh my gosh, when you see my original card, I think you're really gonna like it. Okay, and now we're just gonna line up the score lines, like here at the bottom and at the top, and then once we know we're there, and then I'm gonna make sure I'm centered, just eyeballing it. And that looks pretty good because I'm going to flatten it. So then now I can push this out. Because you need to make sure, now if you don't do this, then it won't fit in your envelope, okay? So you have to do it that way. Okay, now this is our strip. And then again, I'm just going to use tear tape because I prefer tear tape, because it holds better. So again, Seal Plus, like, no offense to Seal, but or liquid adhesive, I'm just mentally more comfortable using tear and tape. There's some people who just prefer tear and tape in general and use it all the time, like on everything. I just don't find that that's necessary. Because you don't need a lot either. So, and then you have fat fingers and fat nails and doesn't want to lift up. So you use your take your pick tool. Okay, now we're going to line that up right along the bottom. It's such a small piece, I just ripped it off. Okay. That's true. That's true. Because the DSP is shiny, I think the tear tape does give it a little more adherence. Okay, so there is our card. So this is how it's going to mail. But then when you pop it up, this is our fun, it's like this. So it'll sit curved. I don't know, kind of like a presentation or a stage. Stage. That would probably, maybe that's what this thing is called. I don't know. I gotta find out. So anybody know what it is called, then please do let me know. Okay, so there you go. That is your finish. No, just kidding. So now we're going to add the mechanism. And I'm going to use tear tape again because I want this to be secured. Now this is more of a flat matte paper. And again, we're going to line that up in the middle. But I just want to make sure. So why do I keep losing my tear tape over there? Because that time I put it away. Okay, so we're going to add, you could use seal. Like, again, whatever. So I'm going to add that there. I'm adding 2 because it's 3/4 of an inch wide. So I just want to make sure it's holding, and I'm also right-handed, so I keep switching. Stuck to my hand instead of the paper. Okay, so this is our mechanism, right? So I wanted to give you a really interactive fun fold. So this is our mechanism. Now I'm going to pull that off. Add that in my little scrap bucket here. Scrap bin. Like so. No. Oh, stuck to my hand. Stuck to my fingers. Okay. Now, again, score line to the pinched line right there. Oh, it's so sticky. And then we're going to put that right in the center. Right in the middle. So we're just lining it up, eyeballing it as best as we can. Oh, I think I'm off. Because this is how flat the card is going to be. I'm just going to flip it and make sure oops, see, not good on this side. Got to make sure I'm flush as much as I can there. There we go. Yes, that's very true, Christine. It is great for highlighting DSP because you can use 3 different types, which is what I'm doing here. So now you see the mechanism and how it's sitting. So when you bend it, it's still in the center there. And then you have your little pop-up, and that's where we're going to put our sentiment. Or any featured, it's your focal point. So whatever you want to put there. So we just have a little strip here, and then I'm going to stamp the Happy Easter. Oh, there it is. I'm going to use my stamp set. Okay, so we're going to stamp Happy Easter. I'm just going to stick that on there, right? And grab. Now, I haven't used this one yet, so I'm just going to take, because it's brand new, my chamois here, and just make sure there's no extra grits and bits on there, grease, oil, whichever. The other trick you can do, obviously, like some people like to do that right when they get a stamp, is you can also just rub it on your hand because these are polymer stamps. And that kind of helps get all the guck off. And then, because sometimes it does come really like uneven. Okay, so now I'm just going to stamp Happy Easter. Push that down. And there we go. And then that's going to be our center. Oh, wait till you see my original. Good morning, Kathy. So we have that little bit there. So I'm just going to use my seal and make sure I'm good here. And that is going to sit. So then now we just got to center our sentiment right on top. So whatever you use as your focal point, I could have used the bunny, but I wanted to use the sentiment. And then now, so they'll receive it like this, and then it'll pop up like that. So I hope you really like this. So you could do this in the green. I should have did this in the green so that it matched the green here. Well, I guess, what's that green? The green is, I think, shaded, no, what is it called? Yeah. Oh, where is my Easter thingy? Shy Shamrock. So I could have used Shy Shamrock to hide that, I think. So, any other tips? Okay, so I'm going to add, so it says Happy Easter. Then I'm going to add right down here because it's still early, and I'm just going to use that sentiment that says on its way. And I think I'm going to heat emboss it. So let's pick this up. Now I don't need the Easter, so I'm just going to grab a piece of removable tape. So I really like using the Post-it note one from, which you can just get off Amazon. And I'm just going to cover that up. And then because it's reusable, you can just rip that piece off and then use your other half to hold down your stamps, right? Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that that's cleaned up there. Oh, we're heat embossing. So where's my Versamark ink? Okay, so I'm like, I was gonna stamp it in strawberry slush. So we're gonna add that. And I'm gonna grab my Versamark ink. I'm gonna use the mini instead of the big, just cause I can. Okay. Then don't forget to take that off. And then I'm going to put Happy Easter. And then it's going to say on its way. Here. Okay. Not too bad. And then I'm going to grab my white embossing powder. There we go. Who doesn't love to heat emboss, right? Okay. And push everything out of the way while I heat this up. So a bit noisy, but fun. So if you've never heat embossed before, all you're doing is melting the powder onto the paper. And then it's going to turn a bright white. So you can see it transform. I think that's like my favorite part. My husband loves it when I emboss because he knows that there's magic there that's happening. Okay. And there we go. Ta-da! Okay. And then I'm just going to take my scissors. And I'm going to cut it at an angle. Oh, somebody used glue on this. So I have to fix that. Don't lie. Those are my non-glue scissors. Okay. And then I'm going to put that here at the bottom. Almost like, you know, have you noticed so far? I have not used any of the images. And I'm like itching my way right now to add something on here. Oh, just one of those things. You're like, I seriously want to add an image. Okay, I might even just add the chicken. Not a chicken, the little duck. It's a duck, right? Yeah. Oh no, it's a little chickie. Oops, we got time. We got time to add a little chickie. Oops. Okay. Yeah, and then when I did my first one, I was like, I put it upside down. So, there we go. And so, maybe I should do a little mini bunny instead. I know. Okay, let's do that. The chick is cute though. Well, they're all cute. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do the chick. Oh, I suck. Okay, so I had that small piece. So let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, and where's my Versamark ink? It's somewhere in this chaotic mess. I don't see it. Oh, I put it back. Okay, I put it back in its home. So we're gonna just add some memento. I have another stamp on the back, so that's why I'm like not putting it down. And we're gonna stamp our little chick. So cute. Okay, we're gonna color it before we die cut it. You could probably fussy cut it too. Just making sure it's dry because it's actually quite dark. Okay, I'm using Lemon Lolly. Just gonna color it up. And it's gonna grab the dark Lemon Lolly and do some flicking here to give it some texture, some a little bit more depth. I know it's so small, it probably doesn't even need it, but I like to do it. Like to do a little bit of blending. Okay, and then I guess we'll use, do I have pumpkin pie? I do have it out. And I'm just gonna do the nose, the beak, I guess, it's beak. And then there's a die for this one. So we'll die cut that. There's the chick. Chickadee chick. And we'll put that on there. And then where was that piece of this that I had? I'm just gonna cut it in half because I don't need the full half. And we'll put the chickadee in place. Make sure it's really, I love that the new dies are so tight. Okay, I'll just be right back. I'm just going off to the side here to just cut the baby out. So cute. I think it goes good with the, it's on its way. Because like it's small, growing, I don't know. My weird thoughts. My weird thoughts. Okay. And then we're gonna add a mini glue dot to the back. There it is. Okay. So don't forget to like, share, and comment. And I think I'm gonna put it right above, right there. Okay, so when anybody gets this card, they'll get this. And then, oh, we could add a few dimensionals, I guess. We could do that. So let's add the Easter eggs. Or not dimensionals, embellishments, duh. Okay, so let's add an Easter egg. So let's take one. And I'll put one here. Or maybe I should put it next to the chick, right there. Put an Easter egg there, and then two more up there. Why not? Why not? Right? Maybe up there. Happy Easter. Okay, so in the mail, it goes like this, flat. And then it goes like that when you actually stand it up. And it's all centered. I like it. Okay, so you want to see my original? I think you're gonna like my original more. So let me just clear this out. So this was that, and then this one was my original. So I cut out a bunch of these stamps and then added them in. So we got the two bunnies, the chick, and the flowers. And there is a piece of designer series paper that is great for scrapbooking. So I took that piece and cut it out and turned it into a background. Let me show you what I mean so that you can see it. There is one piece. So when you get my DSP share, you're going to get half, which means you'll get 3 of whatever's here. So there's that one, and so it was this one here that I cut. And there's a second one, so everybody who gets the DSP share will get one of each. So I just cut this one here, and I trimmed it so I could get rid of the white and maximize the more of the color to get in that middle. So that is what that is right there. So that is my card. I hope you liked it. It's a fun card design, I think. Like I said, I haven't made this one in years. The last time I made it was with the ladybugs. and they were flying, so that's what I did. And again, it just pops up really nice onto your table, and that's what it looks like. So don't forget to like, share, and comment so that you can get one of these cards in the mail, along with all the other cards we've created. I don't even remember what they were. So, oh no, that one was for mine. So it was this one, right? And then there was this one. And then there was GDP Monday. And I'm missing one more. So Monday, Tuesday, this was Thursday, that was Friday. And then there's one more, and I put it somewhere. Yeah, because I don't remember where I put it. But there is 5. So I will take a picture of all 5 and make sure I post them. So anyway, tell me which one you like better in the comment. Do you like the Happy Easter, which is a little more subtle, direct to the point? Or do you like the image one, the more scenery one that just says Hello Spring, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the different stamps that were die cut out of the actual stamp set. So let me know which one you like. Yeah, would like them all. Yeah, me too. So good thing I get one set. So let me know which one you like, because then if you actually win the draw tomorrow morning, then I will look for your name and know which one of these 2 you picked, because they are different. So I can't really, so I can't give you both. I can only give you one. So either the Happy Easter, which is more of a sentiment and calmer one, and then the scenic one that says Hello Spring. Okay, so thank you. It's Friday, TGIF. Have a great weekend. Tomorrow I'll be back with a scrapbook page because it's Saturday, scrapbook weekend, scrapbook Saturday scrapbook. I don't know what to call it. Okay, but either way, it's a scrapbook. So, and don't forget, place an order. Doesn't matter what the minimum is. I just want you to place an order. And then, but you know, you want to at least place 100, because then you're going to get the product of the month as well. So have a great day. Happy Friday, TGIF, and happy Stampin'. Hope you get some crafting done this weekend. Bye.